Hey everybody, Beer Leaguer here with another shorts episode where I talk about all the random stuff that I've seen out on the internet, so you don't have to go searching. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is a little bit feedback from some previous episodes. Just had a podcast episode out about trying to figure out and how I landed on what I think is the best hockey vehicle, and had some feedback from kind of interesting feedback here. Someone sent in a text, because you can text the show. I don't know if I mentioned it enough in the podcasts, but if I don't, in all the podcast episodes, there's a little link you can use to text the show, and all you do is you click on it, it opens up the texting app on your phone, whatever that happens to be, and it puts a little number in there automatically that's not the phone number that it's texting, and that little number is how text gets directed to me and not to a different show or not off into the ether. So make sure you don't change that, and then you just put your message in and send it, and I get it. So it's probably the easiest way to text the show if you're not going to leave like a comment on YouTube or something like that. And one of the best texts that I got that I think was most interesting was on the hockey vehicle episode is somebody in Alaska texted. And I'll kind of read some of the things here. Is he says sees a lot of Subarus in Alaska, generally speaking, but not many at the rinks, which is kind of surprising because, like I said, Subarus seem to be the most abundant vehicle around at the rinks. And one thing I do see a lot of are full-size vans, like the 4x4 Chevy, Ford, and Nissan vans. And he says these are excellent hockey vehicles. So that is something that I do not see around me. Again, I'm here in Ohio in the U.S. It's a pretty wintry climate, I think, as far as most of the U.S. goes. Nothing crazy here, but yeah, I don't see a lot of those just because they're kind of big. People around here don't really have that stuff because usually I think it's because what I see around are vehicles that people are using, as like their family vehicle as well. And those vans usually don't work great for that. That's why you do see some minivans, but not really like these 4x4 vans out there. I just honestly don't see a lot of those in general out and about on the road, let alone at, my beer league games. But those would be an amazing hockey vehicle if you had just a nice big old 4x4 van, because that would kind of get you through just about anything, I would think. And obviously you'd have plenty of room. So that's something else to consider there. So yeah, thank you for that text. Thank you for that message. If you guys have feedback or anything you'd like to add to like that, I'm going to try and incorporate more of that stuff here in these shorts episodes and kind of talk more about what's going on with the channel. I don't really talk about the podcast or the YouTube channel or anything like that, really. And this is probably the place to do it. So appreciate that. Appreciate any feedback from that stuff. Get that out there and let me know. I know what you guys think or if you have stuff to add on. Along that same line, just some of the stuff coming up on the channel. I have been putting more things on the Beer Leaguer YouTube page. And it's stuff that doesn't really lend itself to the podcast format. It's kind of like short reviews of things. So I have had like some more longer term reviews. Like I had the very long Sparks review that I did make a podcast out of and put that up on YouTube, and you got pictures of everything. And I try and show all the stuff that I was doing. But I've also had some reviews of butt ends, Blade Tech blades. I just put a little short video up about some of the places. Well, the one place that I've bought some really cheap hockey jerseys from about that. And I plan on doing some more like kind of shorter. When I say shorter, I mean under 10 minutes generally. I try and usually keep it under 5-minute reviews of things. I'm going to talk about some of the different gear that I have and under gear and stuff like that, and how it's really not so much, thinking about, hey, I'm going to do like stick reviews and things, because there's other channels that do that stuff, do it way better than I will, but more of how stuff is held up over time and if it's worth putting your money into things. So keep a lookout for that. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. It's just the Beer Leaguer on YouTube, same logo and everything, so you know it's there. I also have stuff, similar things that I have up on the Instagram page where I have some of the, clips from the podcast, obviously, and other things up there that are related to YouTube and stuff like that. And also on the TikTok account, have some stuff up there as well. Things that just don't really fit into a podcast episode necessarily. So that's kind of getting that out of the way for interesting things. And another upcoming video that I'm working on, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out for, but something to keep an eye on for is a shooting video. Not really a tutorial on shooting, but I've been doing a lot of practice shooting, which I have not done in a long time, in backyard, and I've been doing some clips of it and kind of trying to keep track of some of the stuff that I've done. I've been actually using the How to Hockey's 10,000 shot app to keep track of my shots, and I was going to have some kind of content come from that. I'm not totally sure what. So if there's something that you guys would like me to try to do with that, something you'd like to see or hear me talk about while I'm doing that, I'm not just going to do one video at the end of everything. I'll do a video kind of along the way of, what I've gotten better at, what I've seen, things like that. Let me know. Shoot a text message, leave a comment on something, and let me know what you guys would like me to do with that stuff. Like I said, that's still in progress there. And kind of as the last kind of housekeeping channel thing is I am starting work on what I think are going to be really, really in-depth, probably way more in-depth than I think a lot of people want, but hopefully that's a good thing. Reviews of hockey bags. Hockey bags are something that I super nerd out about. Probably the thing that I nerd out about the most for hockey gear. And I'm going to break down some of the bags that I've had, what I've liked about them, what I haven't liked about them, what's held up, what hasn't held up, what works good in them, what doesn't, all this kind of stuff. So I've been kind of trying to make a list of all the things that I want to make sure I cover with all the bags. Not just, hey, this is the material of it, but like, hey, here's how the material has held up over all these bags have had at least a year of use and abuse. And I do just kind of throw the bags around and beat the crap out of them. So, it's not that I've been nice with them. So they are getting used really well. And some of them have not held up great. So that's something else I want to do. And I would love to hear again what kind of stuff you guys care about with hockey bags. Is there certain things you want to know about? You want to make sure I cover things like that. And, again, let me know. Would love to hear some feedback on that. And since this is a shorts episode, I always try to give a social media account to follow. And since I'm not going to say to follow the Beer League on everything, because I assume you already are, then I'm going to give you a cool YouTube channel out there. It's Marcel's Hockey School. And what he does, he's got a ton of videos out there for all kinds of different things. Some of them are reviewing equipment. Some of them is, like some stuff to try training with. Some of them is more kind of hockey strategies, all kinds of different things that he goes in. It's really cool stuff. Some of the videos are in German. So there is that. I'm pretty sure it's German because he's in Germany. So some of the videos are in a foreign language. So you do have to use the YouTube translated transcript feature if it's available. It's not available for all the videos to get everything that he's saying. But for a lot of like the training and drill videos and stuff, you don't need to totally understand. You can watch what he's doing. I mean, he's doing the drills. That's the thing to do. So you might not get everything that he's kind of stressed about it, but he shows enough stuff that you can get a lot of things out of it. It's really interesting. Like I said, his channel's got a lot of different stuff on it. It's a really cool thing to check out. It's Marcel's Hockey School. And as with everything, links to that will be in the show notes, in the description, and available at thebeerleaguer.com. All right. And I will also throw out, if you guys are listening to this podcast sometime in the summer of 2024, assuming you're checking it out kind of when it's coming out, the Beauty League up in Minnesota is starting up soon. This is right now, as of recording of this, it is July 7th to be exact. And the Beauty League starts this coming week. So if you're at all in the Minnesota area looking for some hockey, I've talked about it on a couple other things. Duh Beauty League. I'll leave a link to it again in the show notes and in the description, thebeerleaguer.com. It's something definitely worth checking out if you're around there. It's hockey in the summer, which not much else hockey's going on this summer. So that's something cool. And it's a lot of pros. It's mostly pros. Some of it is college kids that just graduated, but it's mostly pros playing basically pickup hockey. And it's a ton of fun to go check out for that. They also have a women's division this year, which is super, super cool as well. So that's picking up. And finally, the last thing I'll throw out there, if you haven't seen, like I said, checking out all the social media accounts, if you haven't seen, I did throw some stuff up on Instagram and on the TikToks talking about a quick trip that I just made to IKEA the other day and saw two things that would be really great for storing or drying or hanging up your hockey gear. That's a constant theme about keeping your gear not disgusting. One is a really nice little like zip up closet thing. They could really easily slip a box fan in the bottom of it and dry your gear out real nicely by itself, real easily, keep it out of the way, keep a whole room from smelling disgusting. So real nice thing for that. And another one is a fun little hanger guy that looks like a little octopus or something that you could hang your gear from. Would probably be really good for travel. Both of them super cheap. So both really easy things to pick up if you're looking for some cheap alternatives of what to do with your hockey gear if you don't have a dedicated space for it already. So I think that's going to do it for this shorts episode. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully you liked that I talked a little bit about the channel more than I normally do and not just stuff to go check out on Reddit and things like that. But don't worry, I will still keep doing that. This was just something a little bit different, kind of a little housekeeping stuff I thought should be mentioned. So I will mention it one more time. Everything I talked about in the show notes, in the description, and available at thebeerleaguer.com. Anything you'd like to hear me talk about in an upcoming podcast, anything you have as comments or feedback from other podcasts or videos or anything like that, things that you want me to make sure I look at or talk about in upcoming ones. Like I said, stuff about the bag reviews or about the shooting videos, anything like that. Leave comments on the YouTube, leave text messages, which is available in the show notes. You can leave comments at thebeerleaguer.com under each individual episode as well. So lots of ways to get a hold of the show. And, just let me know. And I will do my best to make these things as interesting and as listener-led as possible. But thanks again, everybody. As always, appreciate you listening. And we'll catch you in the next one.